Hi guys. Yesterday I decided to give you just some review with word problems because I feel like that's where we make the most mistakes with our conversions. And so hopefully you go on today and you check your answers, and if you have any questions, come to the meeting. Today we're going to go ahead and start with customary measure of liquid volume. So on Friday we did units of measuring length, and this we're going to be measuring liquid volume. Okay, so this is on, if you want this, I also have it written here, but also in your textbook, page 275, and it has all of this at the top. So we have 1 gallon, and it actually goes across. So 1 gallon is the same as 4 quarts, which is also the same as 8 pints, which is also the same as 16 cups. Okay, so all of this is equivalent. These are all equal. A quarter of a gallon, okay, so a quarter of that gallon is equal to 1 quart, which is also equal to 2 pints, which is also equal to 4 cups. If you take all of this and divide by 4, you get that. If you divide by 8, you're going to get this. Okay, so 1/8 of a gallon is the same as half a quart, which is the same as 1 pint, which is the same as 2 cups. Okay, so by looking at this, remember when we have our when we did our metric system and when we did our units of length, we went from left to right with the largest unit of measurement to the smallest unit of measurement. So if I have my chart and I'm writing the biggest, it would be gallon, okay? And then next would be quarts. And the next would be pints. And the next would be cups, okay? So remember, if I'm changing from a cup, a smaller unit, to a gallon, a bigger unit, and I'm moving to the left, I'm dividing by whatever the equivalent measurement is. If I'm going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, I'm going to be multiplying. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at some of these problems and go ahead and try some out. I think if you felt comfortable with the units of length, then this will probably be the same. There's just more units of measurement here. Okay, so let's look. And if you want to follow along, you can do it in the book. But I'm on page 275, and I'm changing from 20 cups to quarts. Okay, so I'm going to go from cups right here to quarts. So if I'm going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, I'm not going to have as many, so I'm going to be dividing. Okay, so I take my 20 cups, and I need, for 4 cups, it equals 1 quart. Okay, so I'm going to divide my cups by 4, because it's 4 cups. 4 cups equals 1 quart, and that is 5 quarts. So 5 quarts equals 20 cups. Okay, let me get another paper. I was hoping that fit on there, but that didn't work out so well. Let's get another piece of paper so we can do some of these. All right, let's see here. Oh, I kind of go away. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay, can you see it? Yeah, we're good. We're just gonna do a couple, and then I wanted to possibly go over. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay. Let me go. Let's do blank pints equals 2 gallons. Okay, so we're going from gallon to pints, so I'm going to be multiplying, and there's 8 pints in a gallon, so I know there's 2 gallons, so I'm going to be multiplying it times 8, which equals 16 pints in 2 gallons. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, how about 15 quarts? 15 quarts equals blank cups. Okay, so I'm going from my quarts right here. Okay, so I'm going from big to small. Okay, so I'm going to do, if there's 4 quarts, actually I'm gonna go right here to the quarts, 1 quart and 4 cups. So if there's 15 quarts and there's 4 cups in 1 quart, but I have 15, I'm going to multiply 15 times 4, which is 60. Okay, because I'm multiplying because I'm going this way, and I'm looking and I go 14 quarts, I have 1 quart, which equals 4. Okay, 1 and 4. I'm going to multiply 15 times 4 because I have 15 of those. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and try that. One thing I wanted to go over really fast, and I'm going to be giving you a couple of these later this week, but I kind of want to show you. This is one of those things that it's like one of my favorite things to teach, but I love teaching it in person. And I think I actually taught you guys a little bit before, but we've done area, perimeter, and volume. I kind of taught that a little bit throughout the year, but when you have a complex figure, okay, so now if I were doing, remember perimeter is like a picket fence. I'm measuring all the outside lines, okay? Sometimes they don't give us all of the sides. They give us that we have to figure it out. So for example, let's say I have, I'm gonna name this 10 inches, okay? And I'm going to name this right here, let's name this 12 inches, even though that kind of looks longer, okay? 12 inches, and then I'm going to name this 5 inches, okay? And let's name this 2 inches, okay? So now what I've seen in the past is that people, when they do perimeter, I'm just measuring the outsides. So they measure the units of measurement on the outside, the length, but they forget that this isn't labeled. And I have to find out what this is to find the perimeter. I can't just give 5 plus 10 plus 12 plus 2, because what about this? Okay, if I wanted to put a picket fence around my house, I need to also put it around here. I can't ignore it. So then I need to figure out, well, how do I find out what that actually is? So what you want to do is, and some people's, to me, I love doing puzzles. So for me, this is kind of I know myself that this is an easy thing for me to see. I kind of see it right off the bat. But I know if you are not a puzzle person, sometimes it's a little bit harder to see. So trust me, if you don't see it right away, I will give you a lot of practice with this, because this is something that once you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, I totally get it now. But sometimes it takes a couple times of seeing it for it to click. So I need to know what this length is right here. But this is 10, and this is not the same length. But if I did have an imaginary line, this length and this length are the same, okay? So from here to here, we know is the same as this, which is 10 inches, okay? Well, I know that this dotted line part is the same as this part right there. This is 2 inches, so I know that this is 2 inches plus 2 inches plus what is going to give me the 10 inches? 8, okay? So 2 inches plus 8 inches. So now 2 plus 8 is 10, which is the same as this side. So I know that this little box right here is 8 inches, okay? That line right there to here is 8 inches. So I have the same thing right here, okay? I have that little part that I don't know what it is, but if I had a line, I know that this plus this equals 12, okay? And I know that this dotted line is the same as this line, and that is 5 inches. 5 plus what equals 12? 7, okay? So I know that this is 7 inches. Okay, so now, this is black licorice, I'm not a fan, sorry. Whew. Black licorice, I know some people love to eat it. Not me, not me, let's change our pen. Okay, so now I have all my sides, so now I can add. Okay, so I don't forget any, I do 5, and I always just put a little check next to it. 10 plus 12 plus 2 plus 7 and plus 8. Okay, so then I'm going to add 8 plus 7 is 15, plus my 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24. 2 plus 2 is 4 inches. Okay, not inches squared, it's perimeter. Okay, now Thursday night's homework that you guys, or Friday night's homework that you guys corrected today, there were a couple problems like this. The only difference with the problems that you did on Friday is that you had different units of measurement here and you had to convert them so they were the same. But I had a couple people check in with me because they forgot, their answers didn't match up, and it was just because they forgot some sides, and that's super common. So just make sure that if you're doing the perimeter, you have to have all of your sides. So I will give you a couple of these probably next week, because I do think that they are like a puzzle, and for me, I love to use highlighters and kind of highlight my lines so that I know what I need to figure out. Okay, so if you have any questions with that, or you don't understand that, let me know. And again, always open for Google Meets at 12 o'clock, and we can go over it. Your homework for tonight, I did list it, but it's going to be homework book page 165 all and 166 even. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye, you guys.